General Training IELTS Writing Task 1. Letter Writing.
Read the question aloud, please.
Read an article in a national newspaper which claims that town centers in your country look very similar to each other. You don't fully agree with these options. Write a letter to the editors of the newspaper. In your letter, say which points in the article you agree with. Explain ways in which your town center is different from most other from centers. Offer to give a guided tour of your town to the writer of the article.
Okay. Now I just want to tell you what to do with this question. 20 minutes are allowed for this task, but if you're a quick writer, you can finish this within 15 minutes, depends. We are supposed to write 150 words at least. So the first thing that is required is a safe limit, 150 words to 170 words. Do not try to write too much, right?
Okay.
We will work on that part that is called precision. How to say something precisely within 150 words or 160 words. How to start the letter, the details that you had given me, we'll talk about it later. I'm just going to tell you how to start, how to end, and then you will read your letter for me.
Okay.
Usually, we always start our letter with the purpose of the letter. As this one says that you have just read an article in a national newspaper which claims that town centers in your country all look very similar to each other. Remember, this is a test of paraphrase. You know, your ability to rephrase something in your own words or say it in your own way. It's a test of comprehension. It's not a test of knowledge here. There's no need to write names of any places, names of anything, just the way you've written Pakistan, Lahore, Islamabad. It's not required like that. First of all, we start off with the purpose that I'm writing in response to an article I read in the national newspaper. You might use another word that's a synonym of claim. You know, first of all, you are going to tell the person the purpose of the letter, then why you're writing this. You're writing that letter in response of an article that you read and what it says. The article says that all the centers look alike, right? So you would say that I don't agree, or maybe you can say I partially agree with this opinion, right? So you're trying to tell that I don't really fully agree, I partially agree with this opinion, and full stop, right? And I'd explain more. I'd explain more in the letter. Or I'd like to explain more why I'd like to explain in the letter ahead why I partially agree or I don't fully agree with this. Full stop. This is the introduction. This is the purpose of the letter, why you're writing it. The rest of the body, we do not have to think much. We just need to prepare and work on these points. Say which points in the article you agree with. So you would say, primarily, I'd like to talk about the points that I agree with in the article. As the article says that there are 6 amusement parks in all city centers, I agree with it, right? That there are 5 or maybe 1 amusement park there. You're using more of your vocabulary there, right? Just to show your picture in your mind, not the nouns of the like cities or something like that. We're thinking, okay, maybe they claim in the article that most of the town centers in your country have flats, right? 8 stories or 8 floors of flats. So you can just mention that I agree to that point. So what are the points that you agree to? Maybe if you would have ever seen that in a town center, there's a gym, there's a park. You can talk about the leisure facilities that are similar in all town centers. So agree with some points. Talk about that. Maybe 1 to 2 points. Maybe we talk about leisure facilities. That is availability of a supermarket nearby in the neighborhood, availability of gym, maybe a cricket stadium or a sports center, right?
Yep.
Or maybe the infrastructure. There is something that you agree on, and you can just write 2 to 3 lines about it, because we do not have a lot of words to say. We cannot write too much. So writing it precisely, that what are the points that you agree on? You agree to some points, maybe about infrastructure, maybe about what's available in the neighborhood or leisure facilities. Anyways, moving further, you will block that paragraph and you will move to the next paragraph, and you will then explain, and you can say further, I'd like to explain more about how the town centers are different from each other. Then talk about it, that how they're different, maybe the size is different, maybe the way they're built, that is different. I mean, you have your own imagination for that. You're smart enough to think. And maybe it is about the number of people living there. Maybe it's about the post office available there, or maybe any cafe available there, or maybe a hospital nearby, a train station, a bus station, something like it. I mean, like, how come it is different from the other city centers? Your city center where you live, your town center where you live. Do you get me?
Yep.
And then last point, again, we'll block that paragraph. You'll mention 1 to 2 points, then you'll block it, and then you'll move to the next one. Offer to give a guided tour of your town to the writer of an article. And then in the third paragraph, you can say, I'd like to offer you a guided tour, so that you can also see for yourself that how my town is different from other towns and what are the similarities. Full stop. I look forward to your positive response or whatever, and that's the end of it. Now let's read yours.
Okay. Dear Sir, Ma'am, reference to your article regarding the town center in my country, I would like to give my opinion. As you mentioned that all town centers in my country look same in somehow, I agree with you, as Pakistan is growing and a lot of mega projects are going on in our country, so the building structure is same. On other hand, if you talk about the country town center, I don't agree, as each province of my country has its own structure and dynamics, as they are not well planned. So you cannot find proper town centers. There are different small shops which have very limited options for shopping. If we talk about Balochistan, it's not very much developed, so you will not be able to find big town hall there. On other hand, of your talk, if you talk about Karachi and Lahore, you can find very modern town hall in which you can find different brands. If you talk about Islamabad, it's a well-planned city divided into different sectors, and each sector has its own town center. In each sector town center, you can find all basic necessary products which you need to run your daily business. I would like to take you around my town centers, as it's very famous one which has all good brands. You can also find a cinema to enjoy new movies with big screen and refreshment. There is a child play area where people can bring their children to relax on the weekends. There is a food court where you can find local food as well as famous food franchises.
But it's just hanging there, right?
Yep.
Okay. First of all, we don't need this old kind of description, Pakistan, Karachi, and Balochistan, and all. No, it's all about the vocabulary about towns that you know, and we don't need any names of any countries anywhere. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now let's reread this and find out some grammatical mistakes. And of course, eventually you would learn how to write it, but reference to your article regarding the town center in my country, I would like to give my opinion. We need to write, as you know, a purpose of the letter, and that should be very, I would say that in coherence with the task that is given to you in the question, right? Because this is letter writing is such a task that allows you to cheat You have bullet points to explain. You're not using your own mind. You might be using your own English to paraphrase, but there's nothing that you're creating by yourself. Most of the whatever you contain from there, that is already given there. Understanding or not? Because similarly, yeah, we are not thinking anything. Everything is given to us, that think about this. So I think it's so important to write a topic sentence in here. By the way, there's nothing wrong with this sentence grammatically. Moving further, as you mentioned that all town centers in my country look the same. Or we might use a word look alike. Or, right, anything. In somehow, that's incorrect. We don't say in, we just say somehow. Look alike somehow. I agree with you as this is unnecessary. Maybe you say, I agree with you as the infrastructure could be similar, right? So you agree on one point that, yeah, I think that infrastructure could be similar. On the other hand, if you talk about, okay, on the other hand is like on the flip side, but right now we're not talking about the flip side. You were explaining more about your own town, how come it is different from other towns. So I think this phrase in here, it's not suitable, but it's okay. About the country town center, I don't agree, as each province of my country has its own structure and dynamics, as they are not well planned. So so you cannot find proper town centers. See, this is we examiner is asking you for a burger. Don't try to give him extra fries, okay? He will not be happy with fries, but he'll be happy with the burger because he asked for it, right?
Okay.
So we need to be very focused what examiner is asking in the question. The more you'll be tending to the question, the better it would be. Okay, there are different, so whatever points you have given me, that small shops, very limited options for shopping, my question was, how come your town is different than the other towns? You tell me what's great about your town. You tell me how come your town is better, or you tell me how come your town is worse. But I think so when somebody says that my town is different than others, they want to tell something special about it. You know, they want to say that my town is better than other towns. So I think that point is missing in here. You're not telling me how come your town is better than other ones, or how come your town is different than other ones.
You're right.
If we talk about Balochistan, it's not much developed. We don't care, right? Tell me more about how come your town center has more civic facilities, maybe better schools, universities, or maybe it is built in an area that has a better climate or weather, anything like it that is suitable for tourists, or in general, people, it's very quiet and serene in there, something that makes it better. Okay, and of the, okay, you can mention all these qualities about your town, that your town is a modern town. Your town has many shops. Your town has different, we can use better words, like we can go for various, we can go for myriad. There are so many words like C1, B2 level vocabulary. It depends the choice of words that we have, and talk about divided different sectors, and each sector has its own center. See, you're not serving me, right? I asked you for another. I asked you. You took the menu, right? And you just did not deliver me my order, right? So I think that is not great. You kept giving me some extra drinks or maybe some fries, but I did not get my main course. In each sector, town center, you can find all basic necessary products which you need to run your daily business. All of this is fantastic. I don't really disagree with anything, but I wish you would have written it for your town, that how come your town is different with a point of view of business activities, with a point of view of modern town facilities, and maybe some other points that you had mentioned in here, right? Without mentioning anything else, because as I told you that we have limited number of words. Fahim, even if you will count, we can write 35 to 40 words in introduction, or maybe 30 to 40 words in introduction. We barely have 40 words to write, and 40 words are barely maybe 3 lines.
Yes.
And even if you will count in your writing, the way you write on computer, maybe 2.5 lines, 40 words, or maybe 3 maximum. Okay, let's move further. I would like to take you around my town centers, as it's very famous one. Okay, so we will cut that S from here, which famous one which has all good brands. Okay. Can also find a cinema to enjoy new movies with big screen and refreshments. That's good. There is a child play area where people can bring their children to relax on the weekends. See, all good. These are the points that make your town different than others. We wish we would have organized this information. There is a food court where you can find. See, why you're providing a guided tour to the writer of the article. You want to tell him, this is a conclusive line in there that, I want to take you to a guided tour and show you everything myself. And I will show you everything. How come my town's structure, facilities are modified and different than other towns and cities. And I hope that tour will change your view about my town, right? So we don't really have to tell there's a restaurant there, blah, blah, blah. No, we are telling precisely to the person that when you will visit, you made a mistake. You will correct your error after you will visit that. So keeping the question in mind, we will write all of this. And then, there's no end to it also. This kind of letter is good. You're not bad at English. As you can see that your English is brilliant. We do not have a lot of grammatical mistakes. All you need to be excellent to get to that C1 level is organization of your thoughts. How many words to write, how to write a structured letter. And another thing, we can work on the collection of words. I know vocabulary is not all you need, but that is 25% of what you need to get to C1. So for that purpose, more writing, and when you will write something, we will underline some basic words and get some better words for it.
Sure.
Like, for example, we talked about building structure. We can use the word infrastructure, right? We get the word basic, necessary products. We can go for vital, essential, something that's a little bit better. Okay.
Different various.
Yeah, we you know that, right? There are different levels. Different levels. If I say that use vocabulary, I say sad. Now, sad is an A1 level word that everyone knows. Then I go with the word basic one, where people usually use the word. What is the word that people use for sad? Usually, people go with the word worried. Right? Or maybe they might say that I feel down. This is like, people usually don't know what is down, but people might know what is sad. Then comes a B1 level in which we have somebody might say, I feel dejected, right? And then comes B2 where somebody says that I feel crestfallen. and then comes C1, and somebody uses the word that is written in a newspaper that I feel melancholic. I'm sure you might have read it somewhere in the newspaper articles, melancholic, right? So it just depends on the choice of words that you're going to have, but with clarity.
Sure.
So for task 1, I hope you understood a lot of things. Now more practice would really help you. Now it is time for us to read question number 2. You will